Sydney Film Festival 2017. Top 10 Feminist Films at Sydney Film Festival 2017. Grab your gals and get to these screenings. The Sydney Film Festival kicks off in 2 days and there are legitimately hundreds of movies to watch. So to help you out, we have summarized the best girl power, female-directed, feminist flicks to bring your squad to. But before we jump in, let's just answer a few key questions that you probably have about SFF. What is Sydney Film Festival? It is a top-notch event that brings in great international film talent to screen it in Sydney cinemas. Where is Sydney Film Festival held? The screenings take place all over Sydney, from the George Street Event Cinemas to the Hayden Orpheum and the Dindy in Newtown. When is Sydney Film Festival? Sydney Film Festival starts on Wednesday 7th June and is on until the 18th of June, 2017. Now on to the good stuff. Here are the top 10 feminist picks for the Sydney Film Festival, and an extra special event thrown in for good measure. Citizen Jane, Battle for the City. She was an articulate and active voice in the fight to preserve New York's historic neighborhoods in the 1960s. She was questioning orthodoxy at a time when women were not welcomed in those environments, aka she was fighting more than one battle with her activism. Wednesday 7th of June, 6:15 p.m. Dindy Newtown. Monday 12th of June, 4:15 p.m. Dindy Opera Keys Cinema 2. Tickets. Women directors killing it in the industry. The Beguiled. Sofia Coppola has just smashed it at Cannes, being the first woman to win Best Director in 56 years, and this is the movie she won the title for. The Beguiled is set in a girls' boarding school, 3 years into the Civil War in America. Nicole Kidman plays the matriarch, and ultimately decides that when one of the girls discovers an injured enemy soldier, played by Colin Farrell, that they should take him in until he has recovered. Southern hospitality takes a twisted turn in this brilliant thriller. Saturday 17th of June, 8:40 p.m. State Theatre. Sunday 18th of June, 11:55 a.m. State Theatre. Tickets. Women in the Spotlight. Whitney Can I Be Me? How the woman with one of the most impressive voices in the world, coped with fame and a look into her battles with trying to stop the industry from molding her into something she wasn't. Wednesday 7th of June, 6:30 p.m. Event Cinemas George Street 4. Friday 9th of June, 6:30 p.m. Dindy Newtown. Tickets. Women Taking the Piss. The Little Hours. Aubrey Plaza, Alison Brie and Kate Micucci play hot and bothered 14th century nuns, representative of the many sexual misfits sent to convents in medieval times. The ladies take their jokes to an extreme level and run the convent in hilariously swaggy style. Wednesday 7th of June, 8:15 p.m. Event Cinemas George Street 9. Friday 9th of June, 8:20 p.m. Event Cinemas George Street 4. Saturday 17th of June, 9:35 p.m. Event Cinemas George Street 4. Tickets. Women Playing All the Parts. Manifesto. Cate Blanchett plays 13 different characters in this crazily creative film. Taking on such roles as a homeless man, a puppeteer and a preppy newsreader, Blanchett magically plays out a bunch of key artistic manifestos. But it is far more than a catalog of famous manifestos, it dramatically questions the role of art and artists in society today. Thursday 8th of June, 8:30 p.m. Hayden Orpheum Cremone. Monday 12th June, 4 p.m. Event Cinemas George Street 4. Tickets. Women Trying to Hold Shit Together. The Leveling. After her brother commits suicide, trainee veterinarian Claire returns to her family's farm to run the show. She discovers that the family has fallen apart and the farm is on the verge of closure. Hope Dixon-Leach directs the piece and has received awards for capturing the voices of women in film. Thursday, 8th June, 6 p.m. Event Cinemas George Street 8. Saturday 10th of June, 1:50 p.m. Dindy Opera Keys Cinema 2. Tickets. Women proving living life to the full has no age limit. Ice Mother. A selfless 67-year-old mother and grandmother has devoted her life to her family, but after a peculiar incident involving dragging a stranger out of an icy river, she joins a group of hilarious and supportive senior ice swimmers. There is a love story too, so if there are festival goers who are craving a touching portrait of two older souls coming together in Czech, then this is the one for you. Thursday 8th of June, 6:15 p.m. Hayden Orpheum Cremorne. Friday 16th of June, 2:25 p.m. State Theater. Tickets. Women being spiders being women. Red. Cate Blanchett shows another corker at the SFF. This short film is a visual interpretation of the unusual sexual cannibalism of the Australian redback spider. It is confronting, it is powerful and frankly unforgettable. Screening before Manifesto as a double Blanchett whammy. Women in conflict with their culture. Sami Blood. Director Amanda Kernell was inspired by the life of her grandmother when making this movie. The film is about a bright, ambitious 14-year-old girl growing up in 1930s Sweden, when the indigenous Sami people were highly discriminated against. After a humiliating race biology class, she decides to leave her heritage and start a new life and build a new identity. Friday 9th of June, 4:45 p.m. State Theater. Saturday 11th of June, 3:10 p.m. Event Cinemas George Street 8. Tickets. Women straight and from Cannes Success. I Am Not a Witch. Referred as the Cannes Hidden Gem, this dark comedy about a 9-year-old orphan, Shula, who is accused of witchcraft and is exiled from her community and sent to a camp for witches. Saturday 10th June, 12 p.m. Dindy Opera Keys Cinema 2. Saturday 17th of June, 9:35 p.m. Dindy Newtown. Tickets. Special event, Feminism and Film. What? Celebration of feminist films made in the 1970s and 1980s, designed to influence discussions and political change. Where? Event Cinemas, 525 George Street. When? Every day, 10 a.m., 6 p.m. from the 7th, 18th June. How much? $19.90. For Love or Money, A History of Women and Work in Australia. High point in an era of feminist documentary filmmaking, lovingly woven together from women's personal stories, archival collections and excerpts from Australia's film history. This Woman Is Not a Car. Suburban melodrama meets horror road movie in an artistic work that takes on femininity and the maternal, fantasy, humor and the erotic, masculinity, fetishism and violence. My Survival as an Aboriginal. Respected Murrawurrui activist Tessie Coffey invites filmmakers and audiences into her family and community of Brewarrina in northwest NSW to fight for country and culture.